All right, day 128. So we are heading out to Coldwater pretty soon for the weekend, and these are historically the weekends that I eat like crap, and so I'm really gonna work on not doing that. I think it's important. If I can just get through the weekend, then I usually have pretty good routines in the weekdays. It's just the weekends that have been really difficult. So you know, um, I also have been stuck at 25 push-ups, 20 pull-ups, and like 50 squats for a while, and I think for probably like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and I think it's my body just
What would you
adjusting.
like me to convert
Oh my
83 weeks
god,
to?
stop doing that. Um, uh, I I gotta turn that off, man. That's so frustrating. It's so stupid. Apple, come on, man. Um, but I think it was my body just like catching up because I've just been pushing it, and today was the first day that it actually felt pretty good doing it. I wasn't really struggling for the last I was really struggling usually around 20 push-ups and around 20 pull-ups, but I just kind of kept going. So I'm gonna do 22 pull-ups. I'm gonna do 26 push-ups from now on, and I just pushed it with the squats too, and I was feeling good today with the squats, so I pushed it to 70. So I think at some point here we're gonna start wearing the weighted vests I bought. Um, it's intimidating. I'm a little scared, um, but you know, I just gotta do really small things every day, changes because my brain it's too intimidating right now. So, but I am hovering around 168 weight, and I'm sure some of that's muscle, but I know that's everyone's excuse, when they're not like getting there that they want to get there. I have gotten there. I've gotten to 160, I think, 4 at one point, and then you just eat like crap, and you have parties, and have weddings, and how to go out of town, and so you know it's all part of it, but the whole point is sticking to it. So I mean, if you look, I've had a lot of red the last few weeks, and I also think it's going to be. I kept missing weekends for the podcast too, last few weekends, and the reason I don't know what to do on weekends because it's like I don't really have time to break away often, and if we're traveling, it's like I know it's going to be a worse experience, but I know it's like not the point, so whatever. The point's consistency, and if it looks like crap, I mean, it probably doesn't look much worse than it normally does. So that's just how it is, I guess. I am proud of myself that I did email Michael Seibel today and just say, hey, quick question, and try to be nice and say some nice things to him. So I don't think anything other than we got 6 more years before it matters, kind of thing. But and I'm sure I'm not unique in this, but I'm proud of myself for doing it. I do need to post on Twitter. I didn't post yesterday. But I think the thing I'm learning with Twitter, and this is the point, right? Like um, it's so hard, right? Like I would have quit already, if and look at how much red that is. Like look how bad I am at that. Like I've even the days I do post, like some of those green days are really soft green days too. Like I've been really bad about that of all the habits I've been trying to create, and so I just got to get into better routines. But the whole point is not quitting, right? I'm not quitting that. I think that's my future. I think that's where I want to be. I think in order to coach people, you need to have people follow you, and that's kind of the point. So the stupid thing is I am reading all these books, I'm learning all these things, and then I need to share that with people, and I need to find an easy way to do so. I know people respond to videos better because I know I respond to videos better. And so I got to find a quick way to be able to post a video of something. And maybe that means I have to spend some money on or some time just getting used to that. and I don't really want to spend time on it. This is the conundrum. Like, I don't want to waste time on that kind of thing, but I also know I need to get moving. So I'm not gonna set a new goal right now for that. I think that's as far as I'll get, but I do need to keep posting, and I think I'll get smarter about it. But I think it's mostly about taking the things I learn and just sharing them, because I'm learning a lot. I'm just not really sharing it too well. I did get a small update with pad stats. Sean and I have been working on the report. Still looks like crap, but I did get this working now. So it does put a spot on the map of where you are like looking or where you built the report from. It looks really crappy, and also it looks like anyone could do it in 5 seconds, but it's actually really super complicated, which sucks. Like it took me like a day and a half to do that, and it's just so stupid. Like the amount of code it goes into making this appear automatically is insane. Like it's probably like 50 lines of code, but it's just really complicated code. Like it doesn't. It could easily be 500 lines, and I condense it to 50. It's really complicated code, but it's mostly because we're just doing hard stuff in Mapbox. Like it's not. I'm sure there's a better way, and I'm sure we're gonna meet with the people that are gonna help us one day. But it's just complicated, and that's part of the reason why no one's done it. I think is it's just complicated stuff to like have maps respond every way that you want them to respond permanently, and with the granularity that you want. So, and we have really big file sizes. That's the other part that's really hard. So, but me and Sean are working on this, and it's just the home stretch. Once we get this done, like we're a full-on SaaS company, and I keep saying that like any other person on earth would be like beating their chest, so proud of all of this. Like this is good, like we'll get there, but like I don't. This is like elementary school for what's coming. Like we don't think this is the end. We think this is like the smallest step forward as far as like how we can beat our competitors, how we can add value to the world. Like, I think we have a lot to come, but we're still here. We're still without funding, without employees, without customers. So, we got a lot to go, but I don't feel overly excited or overly scared that this is where we're at right now, and that's fine. I think at the end of the day, I just trust Sean that we'll figure this out. So I guess the thing I would love to do is go to here. So where are we? Day 128. I feel like I've done a few episodes where I said we're in the trough of sorrow. But now that I think about it, I think we're still right here. And that's whatever. I can't say that's good or bad. It is what it is, right? Like if I start saying something's good or bad, I'm going to start expecting things. And when you start making expectations, you start being upset about those expectations not being met. And I don't think we're here yet. I think we didn't do our whole like crazy launch, but I also think that we're putting a lot of homework first so that the trough of sorrow will be less. I don't know, obviously, because no one knows, and of course I don't know. But the thing that the piece that I'm holding on to of hope that we're heading in the right direction is, and it's hard for me because I don't have this problem. You know what I mean? I'm solving a problem that I don't have, which is inherently a really hard company to start. And I know that it's Sean's problem that we're solving, and it's effectively how to evaluate real estate deals faster and more accurately. And I don't do that, but in doing so, I think it's helpful because our customer is our co-founder in a lot of ways. And so like the fact that Sean is using our product currently to help his real estate deal decisions means that it's working. It means that if we did do a big tech crunch, something like that, we would have some customers. And I don't know. I know that's like, I know that's not exactly the right like train of thought. I guess I'm holding out hope that the fact that Sean's using the product right now and it's working for him to evaluate deals means that it's valuable, you know? And because I've built a lot of products, and I'm sure you have too, that I don't even use it myself, you know? And it's something that I'm the target user for. And so what does that mean? That means it is a dumb product and is not good at all, you know? And I think we got a long ways to go to like make it so overwhelmingly useful, and a premium service that everyone wants, you know? But I I don't know. Sean and I have been talking about 2025 as like our year, you know, and doing a lot of homework to get there. And I'm fine with it. You know, it'll be fine. One day we're gonna like have a bunch of people wanting to talk to us and stuff. You know, and that day will come. I think, assuming we don't quit, which I don't think we will. But it's just funny, right? Like, I don't think I'm going to be a fundamentally different person then in 2 years from now. You know, like I don't think anything's gonna be different. I don't know, but I don't think I'm gonna be like so much smarter. Um, I don't. I guess I will be. I don't know. It's just I just hate to. It's just funny, right? Um, I guess I mean I'll stick to what I've said before, and I truly believe this. It's like you just gotta keep working because every day you work, someone else quit that day on whatever you're working on. And there's probably 1,000 people working on this thing right now. And I don't know how many of them are going to make it for 2 more years working on it before they quit, you know? And that's all that is right now we're waiting out everyone else to quit so we can keep going deeper and further and knowing more than them and then therefore being valuable. So I will know more then, but I don't think I fundamentally will be a different person, is my point. I think I'll just know more and therefore I'll be valuable because I'll be more of an expert. And I think that's kind of the root of this is like just keep putting your head down and learning something new, make your company 1% better every day. And eventually you're the best in class. You're the best ever. I mean, I know there's a lot of nuances there. And I think ultimately we want to be like Apple, which is like a premium product and therefore a premium price. But, you know, I think I'm getting really excited to like put on my um, manager hat soon. And by that, I mean just having any employees at all. I don't know when all that'll happen, but I do think that'll be fun to to have an expert on the team that knows more than me about something, you know, because it's just a lot of, well, what do I know? How can I go learn this? And you know, and it all goes back to product market fit. You know, I think the tool we've built um, has some of product market fit, you know, because it does solve some of Sean's problem. And I'm sure it could be some sort of micro SaaS company that, you know, eventually ceilings at $1 million a year or something. But that's not our goal. You know, our goal is to really tear down all of Sean's problems as, you know, a real estate investor and make them so stupid simple and so easy to and so accurate that, you know, he can evaluate deals in just a few seconds and maybe automatically. I don't know. So I think we'll get there, but I do think I'm getting a little wiser every day that where my mouse is probably where we're at still, and that's okay. You know, I mean, who? It's not about competing. Even it's not about anything. It's like you can't. I guess I'm gonna go back to Peter Thiel on this. It's like you can't build a monopoly in 6 months. You know, like you can't be 10 years ahead of everyone else by working on something for 6 months. Like it needs to be so stupidly, like not stupidly, so I don't know, so much better in so many different ways that it takes huge companies to like years to catch up to you. And I would say right now, I think it might take someone between 6 months to a year to build what we built in 3 months. So, you know, you gotta speed up. That's why we need some money. That's why we need some employees. But I feel good where we're at. I feel a little bit like I'm not sure what to work on, but and the hardest part about all of this is like the last 10%. We're 90% of the way done, and it's the last 10%. That's like the hardest part of like staying motivated, staying on task, like making sure everything looks good, um, making sure these stupid reports look good. Like all of it's important because your customer wants everything to be perfect. But from your perspective, it's like, oh, this is like the dumbest problem ever. But you can't say that out loud or else you'll stop caring, and you can't stop caring. The whole point is you got to keep caring. Yeah, like I might enforce this when we're bigger. It's like I truly want every single person on our team to have to talk to customers for like an hour a week or something minimum, and have to use our product for like an hour a week minimum. It's just to really just break apart the feedback loop, really get good feedback and also really get good feedback on bugs and things in our product. So, I'm sure that'll be an evolving opinion of mine, but I just don't know how else you know if it's working without testing it and using it yourself every day, and that's how you like get better at building it too. But I guess it's a little sad that we're not even in the trough of sorrow yet, like you want to be further along in the path, but just another day, I once again, every time I don't evaluate this, I spoke about this a little while ago, but like there's a thing called sunk cost, SUNK, sunk, and it's kind of like often how people make decisions, because you're so far into something, either with time or money or people or whatever, into an idea or a problem, that you just keep going regardless of maybe it doesn't really make sense to keep going. And often this is a really bad thing, especially in business or in different types of industry, is that you just feel like, oh, I already spent a week or a month or a year on this, like I might as well just keep trying it, despite not really having a good ROI on the project anymore, or ever, but like you didn't realize it at the beginning. And people often weigh that versus opportunity cost, which is like the amount of money you could be making by trying something else instead, having the opportunity. And I think I've lived my life and made so many of my decisions based off opportunity cost. And what that means is I'm just jumping from project to project to project because everything has a better opportunity cost when you get into the project. Like once you get into a project for a month, you go, man, this is harder than I thought it would be. First. Second, I don't know if I can make as much money as I thought I could. Second. Third is like, I don't know if this is even going to work. Like I don't know if I have the energy to like make this as good as it needs to be very valuable. And I've gotten stuck on one of those three things a dozen times in my different projects that I've started. And until I like had another human looking me in the eyes and also like working on it, someone like you don't want to let down. So I highly encourage people to like get a co-founder, even if they suck. Like, well, I shouldn't say that. I say get somebody you respect. Anybody. Get anybody you trust and respect, and you will not worry about opportunity costs anymore. I only think about stuff in sunk costs now. And it's usually a bad thing in business because it means you like keep heading down the wrong road for like a long period of time out of like ego effectively. But for me, because I have such heavy imposter syndrome and I have such heavy I would just say like short-term thinking energy, like I have a lot of ideas, and not that I don't think they're that bad, but I don't think I could ever do any of them because I jump to the next one too quickly, and I think living my life with a more well represented sunk cost, meaning I'm already 120 days into this thing with Sean, I should keep going down for 1,000 of them rather than jump and start a new idea. Like, because, I've had better, not better, I shouldn't say better. I've had different ideas for startups along the way for the last 128 days. I think it's the hard part is I'm trying to build my brain to be constantly like looking for opportunities everywhere, including in my startup and everywhere else. And so it's used sometimes, but it doesn't mean that they're actually good. It just means that they're there, And I really want to hand them off to somebody if anybody needs help finding ideas. That ideas aren't really valuable though. That's the problem. But I'll say this: living my life or re-gauging my life to be more sunk cost based, because I think I've been really, really, really opportunity cost based, has really just opened my eyes to, I would say, even like just long term thinking, like more adulting, more taking something and making it into a really, really good project, a really, really good company. And I think my goal before was to do the least amount of work and get the most amount of pay with these different projects. And Sean just thinks so clearly about this stuff that he just knows when something's stupid and not going to be a good long-term project, and he laughs at it. And I've just needed that energy in my life for a long time now, and I haven't found anybody that had it as well as he does, I never listened to them or respected them or worked closely enough with them or something. I don't know, but there's just no like trying with Sean. It's either doing or not doing, and every day he's doing. So every day I'm doing to try to match him. Maybe he thinks that about me, I don't know, but it's working. It's working with the doing, because we're always doing. We're always working and always trying to get better, and quitting isn't even something that can be considered. Which is why I'm not worried too much that we're not going to make it. I think we're going to make it. I think it's taken me this long to, and I think I've needed to know I was going to make it in order to try. And that sucks, right? Because not many people can get there. And I think it took me probably like 70 or 80 days to get there, which is usually where I quit, right around that mark. I think I've only spent like 80 days on a project up to before this point. So it's like weird to think that we're going to get it though. It's a crazy idea that, like, he's talking about like when we're going to quit our jobs and when we're going to move to wherever, and I don't know. It's like insane that I would ever consider that, because I have such a good job and I have such a good everything. But it is the next step. Like, at some point I keep running into this. The last thing I'll say is I keep running into this. It's like, I think for the longest time my goal wasn't to create a big company. My goal when I was doing these crappy projects that I would quit after a month or two with, I think my goal was to, like, I don't know, impress a person or something, or like, I know what my goal wasn't. I guess not knowing my goal is half the battle, but I know what my goal wasn't. My goal wasn't to create $1 billion company. My goal was to create something that I found cool. And maybe I just needed a partner to keep me pushing towards the $1 billion company. I just don't think I've ever taken it as seriously as I needed to. I never wanted to replace my job. But now I don't. It's not that I really want to like get rid of my job, because I really like my job too. But it's more like I just realized that this is better. Having more hands on the steering wheel is more fun, more interesting. Actually, I've never been one to like take my work home. I'm very like, don't even think about it. And it's mostly because, like, from my childhood, I like didn't want to be my parents, always like thinking about work and working and, staying long hours. But I think it's more like now that I feel like I understand the game. I feel like I understand capitalism now. And I feel like I understand expertise, and I understand experts, and I understand people that work on stuff late into the night every night. And I never understood like what they thought they were going to get out of it. But I think startups make sense to me. I've pretty much spent every waking moment that I could, working on them for the last 6 months. And it just makes perfect sense to me. Get as good at something that's going to 100x value in your life, and then teach others how to do that. You know, I think up to this point, I've only looked for and built skills that will only like 2 or 3x my time. But learning startups will 100 to 1,000x my time. Every moment I spend learning about them is 100 times return I'm going to get in a few years. You know, and I firmly believe that, and I'm probably wrong, but I believe it, so it doesn't matter, you know. So I just gotta keep waking up every day, making it a green day, and stepping up to the plate, you know, and keep swinging every day. So, but we got a long way to go. We're still right there. A long way to go. So I'm gonna sign off, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.